Alright, let's go ahead and just turn off this air purifier and have a little full frame, wide, whatever, long form content studio update. I legitimately forgot. Right, that needed to be reattached on sound foam up the wazoo. I mean, I did slate a 90% coverage of the studio space. Oh, I just realized there's no light. Can you see? No, we can't. Let me... There. Yeah. Pile was a little bit bigger earlier, but there. Whew. So it's a bit chilly in here. I've done a few YouTube shorts about this along the way, but here is the rough process, how things are going. I kind of want to do what I learned installing sound foam when I'm done, and like have the whole... It needs to be a clickbaity title, because I really have learned quite a few things from this. Turkey carver for cutting it, that's what RLX recommends, although this is foam by mail, foam factory foam, the cheapest foam available. Well, there are some that are cheaper, but they're not the same thickness, it's not the same, so I couldn't take advantage of their 110% price match guarantee. So most of this stuff just here, that row, is with 3M90 spray. I didn't like you spray on the foam and the ceiling. I didn't like that when you get it close, it starts sticking like instantly, and it's hard to position the foam just right. I'm gonna have to go back to that stuff. I'll explain why in just a moment. So you've got that. Most of the rest of it has been done using, good, that one's empty. What is this? No, just bag, okay. Yeah, most of it's been done using contact cement, which is actually what the first guy from Desert Island Studios that I talked to about sound stuff said. I've actually been doing some work with my brother, who has been, answering in a little more detail some of my questions. Sorry, I said my brother, no, my friend's brother, sorry. And this guy, great. I won't say exactly how much, but he gave me a good price when I actually paid him to come out and look at my space and give a consultation for some sound blanket, or some moving blanket stuff I'll talk about in a moment. And this is a brother of my friend John, who you'll see in a video at some point comparing the HX90V versus the HX99, the Sony point-and-shoot cameras. So, talking with him about some of this before I started installing and bought the foam, and I liked the idea of a spray, because then I don't have to buy paintbrushes up the wazoo to, apply it. But I didn't like that it was getting double stuck, but then I decided to try some of this, and so I got a very small, like the itty-bitty containers with their own brush, and I tried it. It seemed to work pretty good, I liked it, so I continued going on, but then paint peeling problems, my goodness. I didn't experience it at first, and then you can see that's actually paint that peeled off and got respread on, but there's some peelage right there. It looks worse when this stuff is moist, still on there before it's dried. Serious problems. That back wall had problems, but I was able to get those pieces to stick. And then up here, and it was just like dripping down, because apparently this stuff likes to dissolve paint. And I was thinking, but why here and not the other walls? Maybe it's something to do with temperature, because it's been a little bit colder lately, and I have to have the window open, and I've got that fan pulling air out. There was a period where it had air pulling in, so I'd get fresh air. That thing doesn't do much. You put your face over it for fresh air, and it's just wafting contact cement smell through the top of it where it ejects the air from the filter. Maybe it does a little bit. I don't know. What else? Oh yeah, so this not working because it's too drippy, and I thought maybe temperature. And when I was looking up to see how contact cement performs temperatures. All I got was the standard thing you see on the label, which is 65, and I forget what the upper temperature they recommend is. You can work in it with lower temperatures. It's been colder than 65, and this stuff has been holding pretty good. Yeah, but then in there I found your surface needs to be free and clean from like dirt and oil and stuff and paint. Oh, paint. So yeah, I can't use that anymore because it's just like dissolving the paint away. Although, according to the drywall Reddit where I asked, because I peeled off a few pieces because this stuff, I followed the directions online when maybe I should have asked the first guy I talked to from Desert Island Studios. But like the one video I watched online about how to use it and the directions on the package say you spread both surfaces that you're gonna stick together and you let them dry for 15 minutes and then you smush them together and they stick. So I did that with foam and I did that with the ceiling, and then problem, it made the foam shrink. There is a little bit of a gap there where foam shrank. There's probably a few other places that I'm gonna have to fill with random bits of foam. I think some shrinking happened back there, but with this one, good news, I'm gonna try like cutting off below where I had to cover overspray. That's one thing I don't like about the spray stuff is you might accidentally get overspray onto your foam pieces and then it looks bad. It looks slightly better with the red marker on there, Sharpie, but you can see a bit of a difference. I do have one, maybe two pieces of this factory defect thin stuff that I've been able to use to cover up. Like, you know, if I go like that, I think that looks even better than the marker. So I've used that to cover up a few spots. There's a short on that. Because even with painting, and the reason I chose brushes instead of the roller is a brush you can control a little better and you're not definitely gonna paint the edge. Like there, it got a little bit of the contact cement on. So I was like, no, I gotta start like, here's where I applied some of that stuff to try and cover up. Didn't really work. If I have leftovers, I may cut out a section and glue a new one up. We'll see. When it's done, these are gonna be small things that maybe only I will notice. And a few people might because I pointed them out, but with sticking this stuff up, where was I going? Oh yeah, so with the brush, you supposedly can control it better, but not quite. So I actually, there's some tape. I taped off the edge so I could paint right up against it without worrying about getting any contact cement on there. So I've got one container to return, and it's back to the 3M90. I thought about 3M77 because I do want a permanent hold, but maybe it would be enough, but not like stick and be hard to position. But I'm going to try 3M90 first and just spray on a single surface and see how I like the stick and how easy it is to position a piece and go from there. I would like to keep using contact cement. Aside from the smell, it's a lot stronger than, and flammable too. I don't know if 3M90 is flammable. It might be, but it's slowly coming along. That is like the biggest thing I've been working on, and just the learning curve with this and the challenges and how to cut it. And the walls aren't perfect too, so, and I don't know if I messed up positioning somewhere or if it's just how nothing's square in the walls. But you see you got a little hole there, and then you got a bigger one there that's like, you know, I'll be able to fit in, like cut down a cube, squeeze it in there, but I'll be able to fill these in. Worst case, somewhere around here I have a can of red spray paint that I'll be able to decant, and I'll paint in certain areas where I need to. At some point I want to get like red wall plugs. That's gonna have 1 inch filling in the gaps around there of that wall plug. But at some point I want to get red wall plates, and I would actually like to replace the actual inside colored plastic on the plugs with red. We'll have to see about that. That is going to be a little ways down the road though, because that's another expense that costs money, and it's not as important as, you know, like my camera rig stuff, which I've got a rig stuff coming soon. It's going to be here on the 4th of January 2024, and I'm going to do a video with that, so I'm glad I got the camera comparison video out. If you haven't seen that, go check out, or no, help me pick the second camera video. Go check that out, and then vote in the poll if you haven't done that already. And but I think the one that I want to win is winning. Also, they're going to have their own separate, that's not a good example. Where is, but I'm doing something, yes, here we go. I'm doing something really cool with all of these dollar store paintbrushes that have contact cement dried on them and are no longer usable. And, you know, I could have maybe saved them with mineral spirits or something like that. I just didn't want to deal with that. I just bought cheap brushes. And somewhere around here, oh yeah, right there, I have a bag of them. Hopefully I have the receipt for them, or I can find said, oh yes, it's right there. I'm gonna stick this actually in my phone case wallet so I don't lose it. I'm gonna have to return a bunch of these because I'm no longer using contact cement anymore. Hopefully I can make the spray stuff not be super sticky and I can actually position things just right. But other than that, I think that's about it for... Oh wait, no. I need to talk about the blanket stuff. So, I did some testing with... I was in NPS, and they were having a sale on electronics tech stuff, and I'm not seeing any packaging for it, but they had some Burton polyester acoustic panels. That's the gray stuff on my door. And it actually seemed to do something, just a little test. There was an open box already open, so I pulled one out and took a peek at it. Oh, I turned my computer on. Oh, and it's making the annoying fan noise that sometimes randomly starts. But then if I restart my computer, or if I just put it to sleep and then wake it back up, it doesn't make that noise. Don't know why. If you know, let me know. But it seemed to do something. So I bought a box and I tested it. And then after having my friend's brother over for the consultation, it seemed like it would actually work. And so I put some on the outside of the door. But with that, it wasn't seeming like it was doing enough to justify the cost of having both sides. So I went and returned them. There's no going back, because even if they haven't sold, well, actually, they're having another sale now. But either way, it was on sale, and so when it's not, I can't get it for that price. And when it's gone from NPS, even then I can't, because they won't be as cheap if I bought them online. But they're thicker than the AeroZoom panels that I blasted almost 2 years ago, those red polyester ones. I still have one panel left of the Burton that's not been cut up, so I want to make a video on that at some point and show how I compared them to my AeroZoom panels. But in the little test reporting that I did, a moving blanket like that one from Harbor Freight did a really good job. So I may put some moving blanket on the inside, or I might just put some of the, I'll maybe put some of the AeroZoom polyester up on the inside of the door. Oh, computer's starting up again. And the horrible fan noise is gone. So, no, it's not. Sometimes it just takes 2 sleeps. I don't know. It only happens randomly. Maybe it's too cold. Don't ask me. But I told you to sleep, and I didn't start you up, so stay asleep. But what I am definitely going to do is stick moving blanket in the larger gap here, and then we'll put the cover back on, whatever you call that, fascia or whatever, and then caulk around the edges. This is going to get caulk up there, so I've peeled this off so we can caulk inside there. This side's already got caulk, but it's inside where you peel this off, and you're looking at this, but it's a lot smaller, so we were able to just put some caulk. So once that's sealed, that will help with sound. And the very final thing in this update video is part of the reason I had, by the way, mass loaded vinyl is also going to be in that test. I have a piece of that there, but that piece was $30 for a 1 foot by 1 foot piece. So you get how expensive that stuff is. But I talked with my friend's brother about putting the Burton Acoustics polyester panels not inside the studio, because I'm trying to preserve the amount of space, but on the other side of that. Because you can hear quite a bit of bass low-end frequencies coming when my parents are watching movies like Midway. That's kind of the go-to example. Bring up a scene of them shooting at each other in Midway. You can hear the bass frequencies coming up. So what I actually may do at some point is put moving blanket onto the underside of their folded up moving blanket. I can kind of make it look somewhat nice. And then if I put the moving blanket up there, that could actually help reduce some of the noise quite a bit. And a lot of stuff to keep in mind. So big difference. This echo reduction is what you're looking at here. Stuff on the door, and that piece there is sound deadening. That's what it's supposed to be. And the blanket does actually a pretty good job of sound deadening. I think the blanket performed maybe slightly better than that even. But it's thick, it's got plenty of air pockets. When you have it folded in on each other, the sound has to go in, and then, you know, if it's gonna come out, or it has a hard time because it has to travel through multiple layers, but especially for reflections. So I may look into some echo reduction stuff for the outside room there. My mom wants to put some pictures up there, so I'm gonna try and convince her to make them be pictures that are like sound panels or whatever. I may help fund that, not soon, but sometime, because reducing echo out there will help keep vocal noise from my stepdad or whoever's out there talking coming into the studio and help. My roommate can also hear me coming in through the studio. My previous roommate Alex and my current roommate Adam have said that. They'll be like watching my stream and they'll hear me say something, be a little loud, frustrated, and then they'll see it on the stream and it's funny, is what my current roommate Adam said. I kind of want to identify where. I'm hoping it's not coming through the door space, but it might. This is only a particle solid door, so it's not actual like wood solid, but it works good enough. And then putting there will help, but those are things that will happen a little later. It is mostly quiet enough in here. With coming through the door, I'm pretty sure my microphone doesn't pick it up unless it's pointed right at the door, and it's pretty quiet, and the bass frequencies coming through there, I can just say, hey, can you turn the TV volume down a bit? More so when I'm recording important things that need to be really quiet for short films and voiceover and stuff like that. When I'm streaming, it's less likely that you'll hear those frequencies. I'm not trying to get a perfect recording. And those are things that I care a little less about. You know, they can have a little interruption. It's nothing I can do about noise out there right now. I'm like streaming, it's not my main thing. Then if I'm recording for dialogue for short film, hey, I'm recording dialogue for a short film. You can make this good, can you turn it down? So that's pretty much it for the studio update. Oh wait, sorry. So 90% coverage. There's gonna be sound film along there. This undersurface here is getting popcorn ceiling and then wood paneling in the back. And that's the 70s corner that will be up and running when I get the Odyssey fixed or whatever. But other than that, 90% coverage of sound foam everywhere else, and it's going to look glorious. I love the look so far. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me see if I can focus on myself. If you guys liked, make sure you leave a like down below. Leave a like if you're excited for any of the upcoming things. If you're excited for this to be done, when the sound foam is done, I will have a little more time and space to sit in here and finish editing some of the other projects that I've been working on and get them done, as well as start in on new projects. I've already written 2 scripts that I'm going to do at some point. One of them is a reshoot. And yeah, and get my watch hours up. I am less concerned about subscribers right now. That number just keeps going up. Thank you, but please get my watch hours up. That's something that is a little more important to me right now, because they are pretty low, and I would like to get to monetization at some point, and then from there the next step, and turn this into a potential job that can be covered in another video later. I've talked about it in previous videos too. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're excited for this stuff. I'll see you in whatever's next. Bye!